Hey, hello again, whiskey friends. Thanks for joining me today, everybody. Now, for today's Tuesday discussion, where I like to answer questions that were provided to us via Instagram, chat in YouTube, comments in YouTube, Patreon, all these different sources that people are reaching out to us. I got a question here that I don't do too many top 5 lists, but when it's in the context of these particular questions, hey, why not? Let's do a top 5 list. We're going to do the top 5 most surprising pours of the year. Now, I will take a different angle at this. This is not based on the scoring system or the reviews that we do multiple times in the week. It's not based on the score itself. It's probably based more on the experience and something scoring above and beyond what I expected to score is probably the underlying principle behind these, but I am going to highlight 5 bottles that have surprised me so far this year. Well, thank you for joining me today, whiskey friends. Let's kick off the show. All right. During today's Tuesday whiskey discussion, I'm going to get a little nip here because, I never actually drink these whenever we're having these discussions because I just talk and talk and talk and talk. But theoretically, the thing that I will enjoy today is another surprising pour of the year. I'll zoom into that so the lighting adjusts. Wenzel Whiskey Straight Up Ruby. My wife blended this for my birthday. And it's amazing. It's a surprising pour of the year. It's definitely going to be in my top 10 of the year. If not, I might get thrown out of the house. It's actually really, really good, though. I really love that pour. So now that I'm energized up, let's go through 5 bottles that were the most surprising pours of the year thus far. For context, this was recorded in May of 2023. So when it comes to what the year has to offer, we haven't even gotten to silly season yet, We're not getting into limited editions or anything like that too often. So maybe the list would change if I was asked this question in October, but I was asked this question in April, and I'm going to answer it in May of 2022. The first bottle I am going to highlight, and it's kind of a series that I'll actually highlight. It's almost an entire vertical, if you want to think of it that way. But I have been on a little bit of a mission when it comes to what I've been tasting from February to May of this year to explore more of the shelfers. I walked away from 2022 feeling really bougie about what I was buying, what I was drinking all the time. And I knew that I don't have to spend this much on whiskey. There is great whiskey all around the shelf. I just have to re-explore it and find it. Things that I've tasted before that I need to re-explore, things that I ignored that I need to explore. So the series that I do want to highlight is going to be all of the Heaven Hill releases that are bottled in bond and essentially $15 to $20. They are so freaking good. Got the JW Dant and the JTS Brown bottle and bond as examples. I was trying to pull out the Evan Williams bottled and bond, but I couldn't find wherever I have that thing stashed. But the Evan Williams bottled and bond would fit that as well. And the bottle that I have been told that I need to try is the Evan Williams 1783. I haven't had that one yet. There was a American Hero, American Flag variant that was on the shelf today that I almost grabbed, but I've been trying to be good about my bourbon purchases, and I'm over budget already this month, this year. But what I would say about these, so I do realize that these get dismissed because I'm sitting here holding $30 worth of whiskey between these two bottles because they're about $15 a piece. My recommendation is that You pick the bottle that matches the situation. So, how am I going to enjoy those? I am going to enjoy those by a pool. I am going to enjoy those in my Dora cup. I am going to enjoy those in situations where I really don't care what I was pouring. I am just enjoying a drink in a social situation. And those things taste so, so good. And they're $15. It's ridiculous. So when I reviewed those, I did get some comments that like, "Hey, I'm not going to waste my time on bottom shelf whiskey. It tastes really good. It's really good stuff. Just buy the whiskey to match the situation." The next one that really surprised me, and really I guess it's two of the three that surprised me because I am not a fan of the Bardstown Origin Rye if that review has come out before this video. But what I am a fan of is the Bardstown Origin High Rye and also the Origin Weeded Bourbon. Those are both great whiskeys. So I say they're surprising only in the sense that we've had a couple brands, I would say the last 2 years, that came out with their first release just swinging for the fences. And Bardstown is swinging for the fences with these 6 year releases. I didn't necessarily grade these the highest, but what I am intrigued by is how amazing the mouth feel and initial flavors are on these watered down whiskeys when it comes to this one, which is 96 proof, and then the Weeder, which is a bottle and bond product. What I am so intrigued about, and I guess is what really gets them on the list, when those come out as cast strength single barrels and cast strength single barrel picks, I am expecting some amazing, amazing things from Bardstown. So they transitioned. They did it. They transitioned to their own juice, and we have seen other brands not be able to do this. So that gets them on the list as a surprising pour for 2023. Though, after doing so many tours and tasting the stuff when it was 2 years old, 3 years old, 4 years old, I shouldn't be too surprised if they did it. Now, another one. This one has really defined my year. And as of recording this next week, oh my gosh, it is next week. I'll be doing a barrel pick of this with the Mash and Journey Whiskey Club. Hard Truth. So this is the caramel malt, but I have loved all the Hard Truth releases. This rye is awesome. It's only 2 to 3 years old, and I can be a bit of a stickler when it comes to price. And I've been spending like what, $60 on the regular one, $75 on these. I think 75. I think that's right. But Jeezy Pete, for a 2 to 3 year old blend of rye whiskey, these are amazing. Amazing. So surprising to find a new brand like this that is really hitting things out of the park. And these are cast strength. So this one in particular that I got in my hands is 117 proof. But once again, it's 2 to 3 years old. What's Hard Truth going to be in 2025? We're talking about 5 year old rye whiskey. Oh my gosh, it's going to be so good. It's ridiculous now. It's going to be utterly ridiculous later. So that's the thing that really surprises me about Hard Truth is the amount of potential that is there, which does then link it to the Bardstown. It's all about the potential a little bit when it comes to some of the things that are on the surprising list. So the fourth bottle that I'm going to bring up, this is a single barrel from Irene Tan Store. So maybe it's unfair to base everything on a whiskey mentor barrel because, yeah, obviously she's going to pick something amazing. But I have never had anything from Australia until this. Got the Starword single barrel Australian single malt. Man, this is a good pour. I have sat with this one by a fire. I have sat with this one staring at the stars. Starword staring at the stars. That's kind of generic. I didn't think of that before I said it out loud, but it was truthful because I did drink this while I was staring at the stars. But Starword, man, this is some good stuff, and this has been surprising. And for something that is 5 years old, I mean, look at that. Look at that color. You can't even see me right now. I am invisible to you. You can't even see through that. So this one has me quite surprised. Gosh, I think I gave this one a score in like the mid 80s, something ridiculous. I want to try more Starward because of this single barrel, just to understand if this is a special cask or if this is what this brand has to offer all the time. Once again, though, brand I never tried before, and it just impressed the heck out of me. Now, the final one, this is going to be the 5th bottle that we highlight today. This is the only one that has a chance. I think it has a really legitimate chance to be in my top 10 whiskeys of the year. It was the first bottle this year that really impressed me. It is the Magi blended rye whiskey, finished in port and sherry casks. Now, it is very important to pay attention to the details on this one because they have been using the Magi for other spirits and other blends. So the Magi itself is a brand. So I am particularly talking about the blended rye whiskey. These are coming out of Cat's Eye Distillery, the same people that bring you Obtainium. It is a blend of Canadian and Indiana ryes. The Canadian rye is 21 years old. Woo. And then the 6-year rye is MGP. Once again, finished in port and sherry casks. This thing is going to be probably in my top 10 list of the year. It is amazing. I recommend this. These still might be available too. So the Trev has been selling these over at the Bourbon Wrench, and David and Kira have these over at thewhiskeychannel.com. They have a website where they've been selling these. I don't know if they're still out there. I've given out links before. I really hope that you've picked them up by now. This costs $107, by the way, but we're talking about something that has 21-year-old rye whiskey in it that is 107 proof. Think about all of the whistle pigs that are out there that are 15, 18, 21 years old, and they want $300, $400, $500 for that thing. They want $107 for this thing, and it's been finished in sherry and port. It's delicious. It's amazing. It is my most surprising pour of the year so far because I just didn't expect something to come out that good when I bought it. I just bought it thinking I was supporting friends and supporting brands I loved, and then they dropped this bomb on me, and it just blows my mind. So that's the most important thing to kind of keep in mind as we go throughout the year. You never know what bottles are going to surprise you. Think about what I just highlighted here. Bottom Shelf, Heaven Hill, Hard Truth that I never even heard of before, Starword that I never even tried before, and it's a single malt, this blended rye, and then the Bardstown Origin dropping bombs on us. Some good stuff. Those are some good surprising whiskeys. I recommend you try them all. So thank you for joining me today, whiskey friends. That concludes my most 5 surprising pours of the year thus far. We will see if that list changes as the year goes on. Goodbye, whiskey friends. We'll catch you on the next Tuesday.
Jeff, just be friends with me. But you have these whiskey friends, and you say hello again. Oh, Jeffrey, you should just be friends with me. But you have these whiskey friends, and you say hello again. Oh, Jeffrey, you should just be friends with me. But you have